Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of From the Stands, the Cool Picks show. On today's episode, we chat with pro hockey player Zach Fucale, and we chat about his hockey experiences, what it was like to bounce around the NHL a little bit, his time in Europe with the Red Bulls, and what he's looking forward to most with the Washington Capitals. As well, we talk about his experiences with the Spangler Cup and his work with a company called Living Sisu. Before we get Zach on the show, of course, we would like to give our shout out to our production team, Mad Creative and Matthew DeCastro, for the work that you see for the show, for the logos, and Jay Solti Photography for the work that they do for the video production of the show. Also, too, just a reminder, make sure to hit up the links on Instagram, Twitter, on my bios, as well as in the comments, and be able to get your discounts on our products with Hush Blankets and Great North Apparel. There is some great stuff there. And with Christmas around the corner, you will want to get some stuff at a discount. So use promo codes that you see with in the links, and you will not be disappointed. Now, let's bring Zach on, and let's start talking about some hockey and his career. All right, Zach, how's it going, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm doing real well today. Thanks.
Good, man.
You? Everything's good?
Everything's good, man. Just, living one day at a time right now as best as we can.
I know, man. It's wild. But I guess the one day at a time strategy will get us somewhere out of this.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully sooner for the better. But I mean, after it's been 7 months now. And
a little too long. A little too long.
Yeah, just a bit too long of a stretch. Well, let's talk about hockey. First off, I want to say thanks for, again, taking the time to be on the show. I'm really excited to have my viewers learn a little bit more about you and about your hockey career. And my first question for you is, how did you know that hockey was going to be the sport that you wanted to play growing up?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I just know that I don't know what really I don't know if I knew from the start I wanted to play hockey. I just know that at some point I looked at Marty Brodeur on TV and I really liked his helmet and his gear, and I just like goalies in general. But that was after I just figured out what hockey was. And once I started playing hockey, as a tidbit, the first year there's no goalies. You just kind of skate around and try and do that. But then an opportunity came up, and there was a goalie slot that was open, and I tried it, and I loved it. So that's when I realized I really loved hockey for real, when I started being a goalie. And it's been quite the journey so far. I don't know exactly what pushed me toward hockey at that age, but something did. My buddies, maybe, my friends. But, yeah, I'm glad it did, I guess.
Yeah, it's worked out so far. We're definitely going to talk about your journey. But talking about the start of that journey, you were drafted by the Halifax Mooseheads in 2011. And during your first season, you ended up making a record for yourself and a name for yourself by setting a QMJHL record for the most wins by a rookie with 32. Additional to that, you were also named to the All-Rookie team and awarded the Raymond Legacy Trophy as Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's a heck of a feat and a heck of accomplishments for the first year. What did it mean for you to make a name for yourself so early and kind of get recognized that way?
Looking back at that season, it's actually wild that it went down that way. And I'm happy that I got the opportunity to be where I was. I got to play a lot of games that year, and my coach Eric Raymond and Dom Ducharme in Halifax, and even Cam Russell, the GM, they had confidence in me. And there was an injury, and I stepped up, and I did well, even at a young age. It doesn't happen often, but I was presented with an opportunity, and it went really well. So we had a pretty young team that year. We were pretty young, but at the end of the day, I worked hard with my goalie coach. I did what I had to do. I stayed focused, and he kept me focused. He kept me in line, and he kept me structured. And what it mean for me to make a name for myself, at that point, I didn't even know that that's what I was doing. I was just focused on listening to the goalie coach and kind of learning and playing a lot of games. And actually, to be honest with you, I was playing so many games at that time that I didn't even have time to think about what was going on around me. I was always thinking about the next game. And because at that age, at 16, I didn't know really what Major Junior was about. I was just thrown in there, and everything went well. So looking back, it does mean a lot to me that I got that chance, and it was a great way to start my junior career and great way to start my hockey career in general. That's really where it all started for me at 16, and I am grateful for that. That was a hell of a time in my life. Looking back now, it means a lot that I got to do that my first year. And you're talking about those accolades, but wins as a goalie, it comes with a team, and it was just a good time. It was just a good time.
And talking about what you're focused on, you're just focused at that point, stopping pucks from going into the mesh. That's it.
Well, yeah, because I'm still young, man. It was like my first year, like it's 16 through 20 in junior. So like I'm just like getting ready not to get embarrassed the next night. You know, I'm playing against 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I'm just doing my absolute best every night because I know that I'm so much younger. I know that I have no experience. I'm just being thrown out there. So yeah, in a way, it was like I was just trying to survive, and I just kept doing that all year. And then I looked back after that year, and then you were saying like it was rookie of the year there, defensive rookie of the year, and then friggin' 32 wins, and like I played 58 games, I think. So it's just wild. It's pretty wild, but I was just focused on surviving pretty much.
Now, during your 2012-13 season, you made another record for yourself by becoming the Mooseheads' all-time leader in wins with 79, passing the mark that was left by Jean-Sebastien Giguère. How much work and dedication went into that kind of season? And when did it sink in for you that you just set another record? Again, like you just mentioned, that you're not really thinking about the record books, but at the end of the day, you set these records, right? And when does that all kind of sink in for you?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know if it sank in at that point. It sinks in slowly afterwards, a few years after when you turn pro and people looking back at it. But at that time, I did put in a lot of work with Eric and Eric Raymond, the goalie coach. I always refer to him in interviews and stuff like that because the bulk of my goaltending learning as a goalie, it came with Eric for those 4 years I was in junior ed. And we just did so many reps, man. We just went through it over and over. And I remember we were just doing this drill of timing and patience and stuff. And I just kept doing over and over and over. And then I guess I got to give him a lot of credit because he just prepared me properly, put some structure. And then once I was in the game, I was just playing and I was going, and it got me into that rhythm. And then afterwards, those, like you're talking about, those records came and the wins came, and then the championship came with that unreal team we had my second year junior with Nate and Joe and Marty Ferg and Conrad and Hardy, Lewis, and all these guys, Luca Ciampini. I mean, just like so many, we were just, but on my end, I was just focused on my stuff, and just like me and the goalie coach, we were kind of a team within the team. And it was a lot of work, a lot of dedication to it, and really put my mind to it as soon as I came at 16. I had some goals, and I went for it. It was quite a time.
Now, talking about those records, I have to ask, at some point, I feel like every kid does this, or every young kind of superstar does this at some point. After the first few years and you start setting all these records, you kind of have to look on the bookshelf, look for the record book, and see what other records you're close to. Did you ever do that? Did you ever go into the library?
No, I actually didn't. The one time I did look at it is that I didn't understand how I got to actually, it was actually after my first year. I didn't understand how I could set a record for wins as a 16-year-old. I didn't understand that. Like there in my head, there must have been others that have done this. There must have. There's no other way. But it turns out that at 16 years old, goalies don't play that many games. I think only a few have. And in that regard, I am very lucky that I got to play that many. But yeah, it just doesn't happen often. So I was the right place, and I took advantage of that situation. And I really pushed hard. And looking back, that's what I did. I was focused on my stuff with the goalie coach. But in the moment, man, I didn't realize that this was happening. So I never really opened the record books until they told me, hey, look, like this is a friggin' record of the league, like in history. I looked at it, man, there's no way. There's no way. There's got to be others. And turns out that I was in a quite unique situation, and I did something quite unique, yeah.
Definitely. And now, talking about further down your career past junior, in 2013, you were selected by the Montreal Canadiens, 36 overall. Two-part question for you. What was it going through your mind, and how excited were you to be drafted by Montreal, but like your hometown team? And also, too, what was it like playing in Bell Center for you?
I mean, yeah, it was exciting. I mean, when I was a kid, I was growing up playing hockey. I was growing up learning the game, playing the game, watching the game. The Habs were always my favorite team. I mean, I grew up just outside Montreal. That's just the way it was. I was the kid that would sit down with my dad at the dinner table when he came home with like the 10 game pack, and we could choose the games we wanted to go to, and he would send that in, and then we would get our tickets in the mail. Of the games we chose. So I would sit down and say, okay, well, that's a school day. I won't be able to go. And, oh, no, I want to go see Colorado play versus the Canadiens. I want to go, so I was that kid, man. I loved it. I loved the Habs. I was a fan. And it didn't really hit me quickly when I got drafted by them. I was just like it was kind of a surreal experience where I'm like, wait, like might be a dream. I don't know, maybe it's going, but it turns out, man, I got drafted by the Canadiens, as a matter of fact, and I got the chance to play some preseason games with the team. I had 5 camps with the team, played in their minor league ranks for 3 years, and also got the chance to back up games, real regular season games. Never had the chance to play a real game so far in the NHL, which is still part of my goals. But my time with the Canadiens was pretty awesome. There was some good times, there was some bad times, but just the fact that I was part of the Canadiens was kind of a surreal experience that I got to live and back up real games with Mike Condon, Trey Lindgren, Carey Price. These are some elite goalies. So learned from Peter Budaj too when he was around here. And man, I mean, I've had the chance to learn from a lot, and I learned a lot with my time here in the Canadiens. And I did move on to other organizations from that time, but as a young guy getting drafted to the Canadiens, it was quite a dream.
And now, yeah, and the thing is that even though you didn't get to start a regular season game, when you get to do the backup, at least you get the experience of learning about what the guys are talking about on the bench and seeing what needs to be done to kind of be in that step up.
Yeah, I feel you, but it's still, part of your goal is you want to be out there, you want to play, you don't want to just be sitting on the bench, and especially after being part of the organization for a while, like you're just itching to do it. And that was quite, that was part of my everyday life, that I wanted to do that. And I got real close, but soon I'm going to have a chance to play in the NHL.
And we're going to talk about the team that you're with shortly. But throughout the last couple of years, you found yourself, as you mentioned, you hopped around a couple of clubs, including the Vegas Golden Knights, and played in their system, followed by the Syracuse Crunch, and then found your way to your first European club in the EHC Red Bull of the DEL. Now, obviously, pandemic has screwed over a lot of people's plans with sports, with everything, with travel, etc. And you weren't able to be featured in a game itself. But going through those different teams, what was your mindset like over the last couple of years between playing, like getting sent around and then finding yourself in Europe, getting almost ready to play in Europe, and then pandemic hitting?
You know what, man? There's a lot to unpack there. There is definitely a lot to unpack there. The last, I'm going to say, I've just completed my 5th year as a pro. I'm going to go into my 6th year, but the last 4 years have definitely been tough. It's been tough. I've done a lot of teams. Played in the East Coast, the AHL, and backed up in the NHL. I've just been up and down on the leagues and sent and signed other places and been on 1-year contracts and stuff. It's definitely hard mentally to keep to kind of try and build a relationship with one club and stay there and over. And with our goalie coaches changing and all that, it's definitely mentally taxing. I did have some tough times when I played in Brampton, and how it was tough for to get sent down and stuff. But that being said, I did have some great moments though, where I got to learn from a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different areas and systems, and I think that's helping me right now, where all these different experiences, yeah, there were some really good ones, but there were some bad ones too, and now I'm learning a lot, and I'm putting all the pieces together slowly, and I feel like last year a lot of things clicked for me in Orlando, and that's why I'm really excited, confident for this next year, because all that experience, I'm kind of puzzled all that together slowly. And it's mentally, it's been quite the ride, quite the journey, but it's all part of that bigger plan, that bigger picture that I have in my head, where I just keep grinding, and I keep working, and I keep getting ready for the next like game and season. And like I said, this last year went really well, and it was a great time, great season, a lot of great things happened in my life. And then I decided to go to Europe. Like you were saying, after bouncing around some clubs, I decided, you know what, it's time for me to go play in Europe and kind of develop in those leagues there, and kind of try something new, and maybe kind of revive a shot to come back in the NHL. You know, like that was my thinking by doing that. So I had an opportunity with the Red Bull in Munich, Germany. And I took it. I went with it. It was kind of a tough decision, but I went. Girlfriend and dog went back home in Montreal, and I just went. And I didn't know what to expect, and things went really well until the pandemic hit. But I didn't get a chance to play. The team was unreal. They were poised to go to the finals that year. So we'll see how it plays out in the future. But now I think that all pieced together for me to get this opportunity with the Capitals. So I mean, it's just been a long story, long journey, different clubs, different contracts, ups, downs. You know, good situations, bad situations. You know, sometimes I wish and I feel like I could have gotten a chance at the higher level, but it's just part of it. It's part of the journey. It's part of hockey. But personally, it's been quite a rewarding one too. I'm learning a lot, and I think you could speak to that as well, from different experiences, from good to bad. But putting it all together with experience, this is where I feel like next year is going to be a real good year.
Definitely. And I'm going to use a metaphor here. I see that line poster in the background, and I'm going to just say it's everything falls into pieces, and you just really have to claw your way through, and you're going to be a force to be reckoned with when the time comes, because you have all that experience. You have a bit of a chip on your shoulder to prove yourself. And
oh, do I ever?
You're going to do it. You're going to make that name for yourself. I have no doubt in that. And again, it's all about experience. And talking about the Capitals, as you mentioned, in August of this year, you signed a 1-year, two-way contract with the Caps. What's it like for you to now be able to kind of put all the bouncing around for now behind you and prep yourself for that upcoming season, whenever it may start?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about a new contract, is that you don't know how it's going to play out. It excites me. And it's really exciting because I've had some really good rapport with the goalie coaches already, and it seems like everyone's really excited to get back into it. Obviously, everyone's really excited to get back into it, get the next season going. And for me, it's a new start, fresh start, new faces, new club, new coaches, and all that. But for me, I mean, I got to make sure that I'm just ready to perform the way I can, at the best of my ability. And that's what I'm doing. I've been prepared for the last 7 or so months plus for that chance. So whatever the situation is, whatever season they build or whatever, I'm just going to show up and be myself, and put all those pieces together like we were just talking about, and then just play and just put them all together and apply what I've done and what I've learned and what I've worked on. So it's a lot in the making, but I feel like this is going to be a real good year, man.
That's great. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what comes of it. Now, stepping away from hockey for a minute, I want to talk about your work with Living Sisu. For those who don't know about the company and about around or activating your lifestyle, do you want to talk a little bit about what the program is and how you got started with it?
Sure. So basically, living Sisu. Let's just start with the word. What does it mean? It's a word from Finland, and I believe, I might be wrong here, but I believe it dates all the way back to the Vikings. And what it means, what it represents, is determination, resilience, tenacity, courage, anything that has to do with like inner strength and inner will. And my partner, the founder of Living Sisu, found that very powerful word that represented a lot. And I agree with him, obviously. Now that I'm part of the project, obviously I agree with him. I became involved in this company and project because of its values and how everything we want to do is to help people activate their lifestyle and to live a healthy and vibrant and sane life through sport, through physical activity, and create a community around that. So there's three pillars to Living Sisu, and there's three ways we accomplish that, like activate your lifestyle, like mentality with the Sisu lifestyle, is first of all through education. Educating people why it's important to be healthy through sport, why doing physical activity is good for you, things like that. You have to educate and talk about it and create that conversation around it. Secondly, our second pillar is accessibility. You and I both know that like sport's expensive, and you start looking at what the costs are for a young tennis player to fly around the world in all these tournaments, and a golf bag is expensive, and goalie pads are super expensive. So you talk about serious cost to sport and as a young kid. So one of the goals with accessibility, or accessibility pillar, is to give little financial help through our discounts, through our partners. So all of our partners kind of give a little incentive to try new things and try new sports. So all the discounts that you have through us make sport a little bit more accessible. And lastly, the last pillar is the activate pillar. And that's through all of our events. And before the true pandemic, where everything was shut down, we ran a lot of great events, from yoga to kayaking to hiking to kickboxing in the park as a group. It was actually a great time, and people love to have sports events together. It's about sharing the experience. But now we got to switch a little bit to virtual type events to accommodate kind of the red zone we got here in Montreal. But that's it for us. That's what it is. Activate your lifestyle through our three pillars, and that's education, accessibility with all the discounts from our partners, and lastly, it is the activate pillar. So through our events. But the main thing about all this is that our membership is free, and you get in and you become part of our community, and you have access to all these discounts, education, and also all these events as well. So it's great to have this community. I've been working real hard on it and having a lot of fun with it. I don't know if you've dabbled a little bit on our website. Our app, our iOS app is coming out within the next week to 2 weeks. Our real iOS app's going to be out. I'm just really excited.
That's fantastic, man, and that's huge to know. And I mean, talking about the price for sports. I was looking at golf stuff this year, and obviously golf's the most social distance sport you can really play. And oh, maybe I'll get a new golf bag, because like mine's like 6 years old. I looked at the golf bags. I was like, this is the price of my paycheck. I
know, that's unbelievable.
Like, maybe not the price of my paycheck, but you know what I mean. It's a few $100.
Almost, like for some people, that's a very, very big expense to have a new golf bag.
Exactly.
Imagine if somebody said, hey, look, like being part of this community of sports, like it's all based around sports. We're going to give you, I don't know, a $50 to $75 discount on your golf stuff, for example, at a certain location. And that's a little bit what we do with our partners. And a lot of them give 20, 25%, even up to 30% off. And actually one of our partners gives, exactly 30 something dollars off, so percent off the purchases. So like that makes quite the difference in people. And once you accumulate those discounts over time, you save quite a bit of money. So that's one of the things with Living Sisu. Our goal is to make sport much more accessible. And you just gave a great example. Like golf is very expensive.
Now, if people want to find out more information about Living Sisu, where can they go to find out more info?
Well, I hope by the time they listen to this, our app is going to be out very, very soon. So if you want, you go to livingsisu.com, livingsisu.com, and you become a member for free. It takes about 23.2 seconds. And you become a member, you have all access to all the advantages of being a member. And our Facebook page is buzzing right now. We're having a lot of talk about things to do for workouts at home and how to stay active in this COVID time and what to eat. And even I invite people to sign up and be a member, because also we're developing a program via Zoom where a few times a week we're going to have professionals come in for workouts, talk about nutrition, talk about sleep experts, yoga on Saturday mornings. We're going to have a good time with this yoga program, with this Zoom program, including yoga, but with our Zoom program. So I invite people to go check it out. And if you become a member, you're definitely going to be in the loop to know when our app's going to be out, if it's not by the time you hear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. livingsisu.com, our Instagram page, living.sisu, and also our Facebook group is quite the main outlets to find us.
So guys, viewers, do it. Go sign up.
Yeah, honestly, it takes 20 seconds. It's free, and we have a ton of fun with it. So I love to engage, love to talk with people about it. And I'm all about, helping people go to sports, because I know how much it's brought me in my life, and the values around it, and the things I've learned as a kid, and now when I'm transmitting to people when I'm coaching and stuff like that, and when I'm playing. So you for sure know what I'm talking about, how sport it's not just about activating and moving real fast. It's about a community. It's about sharing the experience. It's about teaching others. It's much more than that, and it's a way of life, and it's a lifestyle, and that's what we want to spread with the Sisu lifestyle.
100%. Now let's switch gears back into hockey for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about your Spangler Cup. So you've been part of the Spangler Cup for a couple appearances now. You attended two tournaments. You played in the 2016 and 29 Spangler Cups.
I know, that is kind of a twister. Yeah, Spangler Cup.
When you say it like a couple times in a sentence, for sure. Now, you won gold in both of your appearances. So first off, hats off to you and your team for that, because that's tremendous. How excited were you not only to get to represent Canada at those games, but walk away with some gold as well?
So I just want to correct. I went there 3 times, but we won twice. So okay. One of the time I went 2 years ago, we lost in a shootout in the final. So it was can't get much closer than that. I was maybe 1 or 2 saves away from another title. But you know what? That tournament's unreal. It's in the Swiss Alps during Christmas and New Year's. The rink is full every time. It's just like a winter kind of wonderland, like you're in the Swiss Alps, it's snowing every day. It's just the ideal place to play hockey. And you combine that with a really good organization in Hockey Canada where everything's taken care of, and we had large groups of people show up as support from, I'll give you an example. This last Spangler Cup I was at, there was 175 people, just family and friends in our group with Hockey Canada. So talking about sharing the experience with your family, your people, your mom, your dad, like it was super special, man. And especially in the place it is, it's a great time during Christmas and all that, man. I'm sure you can imagine how much fun it was, and great experience for me. I'm super grateful. I got the chance to be in that 3 times already.
That's great. And yeah, I mean, I get excited when I see the World Juniors happen. And even the Spangler Cup, like I've seen a couple of the games. I have to admit, I haven't watched as many as I wanted to, but just being able to see again that level of hockey, that level of competitiveness, it's insane, and it's such good hockey.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that's what's fun about the Spangler Cup, is that it combines different leagues as well. So this past year there was a KHL team, there was a team from Czech Republic. A couple of Swiss teams, and we're guys from Canada that are kind of playing a little bit all over the world. So it kind of mixes it up and makes it really interesting, to play against different leagues and compare yourself to that. So personally, it was great because I was coming from the East Coast League and wanted to measure myself up to top competition. got to play against the Czech league, and another team. I don't think I played against the KHL, but Swiss team. Like it's fun and it's a nice challenge. And yeah, that level of hockey really takes a level up once you hit the semis and the finals. So it's super fun.
Now, my follow-up question to that is everyone has like a favorable area, if you will, to keep their medals. Some athletes, like myself, for my Special Olympic tournaments, I just have them hanging up on the wall, like on like a little rack. Some athletes I've heard keep them in a sock drawer, like they put them in a nice little like team sock, and they hide them away. Where do you keep your hardware?
You know what? I live in a condo and in Laval, and I've been moving a lot because of hockey. So I gave the mandate to my parents to keep that at their house, with all my jerseys, all of my masks, all of my helmets that are painted, and all the different clubs and spot I've done, all the different places I've done. They're all at my parents' house, unless they told me they put them in storage somewhere. But no, but my World Junior ring, Memorial Cup ring, all these things, they're with me. And they're somewhere here. I'm not going to say where they are because people will know. But
Right.
How about this? They're in an undisclosed location.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't confirm nor deny.
That's all right. I was just curious because, like I said, I've interviewed some athletes that have said they've kept them in socks or they've kept them with their parents or things like that. So I'm always curious as to where you hold your most prized possessions per se. Now,
Yeah.
I just have a couple more questions for you. So you've played in a lot of tournaments, obviously the Spangler Cup. You've played. I'm going to throw the NHL experience in there as well, plus your World Juniors and everything. What tournament or what kind of if it is a tournament or the NHL experience, what kind of session of your career has been your most favorite so far?
Oh man, that's a loaded one because it's tough. It's really tough to choose between all these different experiences because they're all unique, really. Like if you look at the World Juniors, that's the top level at that age. At that age group, that's the top. So that was an unbelievable experience. But if we go a little bit before that and you look at the Memorial Cup, for example, that's the top you can go in junior hockey other than the World Juniors. So that's a whole unique experience in itself. So you're playing against your leagues and stuff, but when you're talking about the World Juniors, you talk about countries, so that's really special. The Spangler Cup was special because of the family experience that you have and where you are in the world. If you're in the Swiss Alps, you get to see something really, really special. So to me, that was very unique experience, especially 3 times. But also the fact that I got to play some preseason games at the Centre Vidéotron in Quebec City at the Fresh Rink, and some at the Bell Center, and a full preseason game in Colorado when I played with Vegas, and backing up in the NHL. These are all unique experiences that I can't choose one more than the other. It's tough. Even being drafted is part of it. It's really tough, but they're all super unique in their own way. And they're always the best experience of your life when you're in it. And looking back, it's tough to choose. But if you ask me this question after the World Juniors, that was the best experience of my life. And after this past Spangler Cup, that was the best experience of my life. And the best experience of my life that I'm living right now is signing another contract in the NHL with the Caps. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait.
That's great, man. Now, my last question for you is, obviously, as we've chatted, you've had a lot of experiences. You've gone on a lot of rides throughout your hockey career. What kind of advice would you give to the younger generation that are just starting off with their careers in junior and hoping to kind of make a name for themselves, but also just kind of aim to get into the NHL or the next level?
Yeah, that's something I like to think about more and have a great answer to. Better and better as I answer it. But something I feel that people are not transmitting to people is also about yourself. It's not just about the skills. And I feel like there's a lot of self-awareness that you need to do before you get to the pros, and a lot of things you need to know about yourself, and be confident in how you act every day, and the way you work and your work ethic. I think the biggest advice I could give is really work on your mental skills, on creating a system for yourself that you feel good in, and that makes you perform at your best every time you're on the ice or pitch or court or whatever you play. It's not just about 100% the skills, physical skills, but also your mental skills are super important. And I believe that creating a system for yourself in terms of how you play the game is important, especially as a goalie, to have a system in place to eliminate those mistakes. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and say the belief in yourself is huge. Work on your mental skills and mental resiliency to go through some pretty hard times and adversity when these times hit you. And lastly, create a system that will help you eliminate mistakes, mental mistakes, but also physical mistakes. And once you have a system, it gives you things to work on and kind of adjust and work towards, and also adjust your system over time to make yourself better through your career. So a good foundational piece to help you moving forward. Yes, the skills are part of that, but work on your foundation, work on your basics so that you're strong in that area, and then you build out from there.
Great words of wisdom from Zach. Thank you so much, Zach, for being on the show today and taking the time to talk about some hockey, about Living Sisu. And again, guys, remember, livingsisu.com. Go sign up, be a member. You won't be
just follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We got a real cool group going on there as well. So I'm sure people will see a lot of value, a lot of great stuff from there. It's something we've been working very, very hard to give as much to the people as possible, to our members and people around. Look, I'm a passionate guy about sports. I'm passionate, and I just want to spread that Sisu way of determination, of resiliency, and it's going to be all through sports. So we're going to make sports accessible, educate people on it, and we're going to have some fun in our events. So come on down, and it's free. That's the beauty of it, is that it's free.
That's great. Zach, thanks again so much for taking
Appreciate it. Hey, have a great night. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Yeah, you too. We look forward to seeing what you do with the Capitals when the season.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it too.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
All right, everyone. That was Zach Fucale, a pro hockey player, currently a member of the Washington Capitals and two-time Spangler Cup gold medalist. Thank you to Zach for coming on the show and talking about his hockey career and experiences. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of From the Stands. And we look forward to having you tune in next time. Take care.